I mean, where were you when we were going to school in the Bronx?
Yeah,
all three of us went to school in the Bronx, and we're like, "Are you serious?"
Hope the future generations can get this urge, stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Welcome to another great episode of Nerds and Rounds, guys. I am Sebastian.
Boiler.
And your boy Tone from across the hall.
And we're excited to bring you the one, the only, awesome Mike Lopez. Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Thanks for having me on here.
Thanks for jumping on.
So we want to know, what is your origin story? How did you get into this fun world of comics? How did you get into comics and creativity? And what made you want to start IncrediCon?
Well, I guess, my origin stories goes back to when I was a young lad, but no, like us all, no, I mean, you see like behind me, I got like movie posters and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I was a fan of like television and movies and comics and cartoons and all that stuff growing up. The dream was to work in television in some shape or form, or entertainment in some shape or form. I did some dabbling with some radio. I was an intern down at Sesame Street for a year.
Wow.
So I got into that a little bit. Then I realized I needed to get a day job, so I became a teacher. So that was part of my origin story, but it continues because when I got a job as a teacher down in New York City, I found a good way to connect with these kids. And I mean, just even prior to going to New York City, when I was a substitute up where I live in the Hudson Valley, connecting to the kids with pop culture was a good way to bridge some gaps there.
Like you have all these guests coming on. Like this is all just baked in for once we're all coming back together and hanging out. You just reach out to people and who you've had on and everything. You just building this network of folks that you've had on your show. Like I was perusing through your YouTube and just seeing all the headshots of people. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
you got
that is exactly.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Okay.
But
well, yeah, I'll ask you guys. I mean, like, who are some of the people that you saw? Because I mean, I just nailed a few of them. I guess. Who are some of the folks that you guys were like psyched to see? I don't know. I pick people that are generally cool to me. That's what I do. When
I saw the lady who plays the Power Ranger, I was like, what? That's cool. I saw the Freakazoid. I mean, it's just, I think Sebastian was telling us about this too. It's literally like the way you're curating your IncrediChat. It's just mini panels. Where people would go to a con and just listen to a row of 5 people and just based off questions, but you're having just these one-on-one conversations with people who they would pay to see, and you're just putting it out there into the YouTube ethos for people to just kind of take it in. And I applaud you. That's awesome. So something that I also think too is that as you're building these connections, I'm pretty sure, like based off what you were telling us, I'm kind of going based off like LinkedIn, right? Like first level, second level sorts of connections as you're talking to all these people. It's
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. Like the future for IncrediChat, it just seems so vast because you've already had these conversations with people that now you could reach out to them and say, hey, who else in your circle that you may not know could you put me in touch with? And you just see like the sky's the limit. Like there's just such exponential growth for the guests that you can get on for your show, and then potential people to get to the con once we get in person.
I'm waiting for some more Power Rangers. They're coming.
And to that point, like what is like the big plan, the goal, the mission? Like what is like that apex for you?
For IncrediCon or IncrediChat?
For both.
For both.
Okay. Well, I'll say for IncrediCon first. So IncrediCon, like I am hustling to get something out for IncrediCon at this point. Unfortunately, here in New York, it's a little tough, but we're working with it. So like I'll plug it here. The school where I work at, we're going to be doing an outdoor. It's not going to be an IncrediCon, but I'm bringing a lot of my vendors in because we're going to be doing an outdoor. And if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see that stuff. But we're going to be doing an outdoor community flea market, and I'm really heavily emphasizing comics, collectibles, vinyl, all that stuff, and as well as household items, because people are going to bring that. Someone actually bought a table for some like makeup products, but so that's the first step. But also what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to get a spot, and I mean, I'll throw this out to you guys as artists. If you want to come and set up a table that day, I can have it because it's going to be open to the community. People are going to check that out. In July, we're going to do an outdoor IncrediCon. We did an outdoor IncrediCon in October. And it was really well. I mean, and again, it was just vendors and some local artists. I didn't have like celebrities and bring anybody in, so that was what it was. So July, we're doing that. And I'm waiting to hear back from some of our partners for maybe August to get something indoors, as well as going back to doing our October shows indoors too. So that's my goal is to just get IncrediCon back and running again, as it should be. IncrediChat, and you guys know this, it's work.
It is. It's not easy.
Doing a podcast is work. It's, and booking guests and then I mean like because I'm a one-man show here. I do all the advertising and everything. I have a person, Grazia designed the logo, the IncrediChat logo. Any all the Incredi logos are designed by Grazia. So I have the template, and I have another person now. Her name's Lee, and she when Grazia stepped away to do and get in tune, Lee kind of took the spot in doing the artwork. So I have her working on the artwork. So I send her who the guests are, some pictures. She sends it out to me, and I publish it. And I actually and it's not officially up and running yet, but there's an IncrediChat.com, which some will house all this stuff as well. But for IncrediChat, it's work. I'm trying to, as I said, I work as an assistant principal in a school. I'm trying to reconfigure some things in regards to scheduling, because as the world returns, school events are going to start returning. So yes. That's the job that pays the bills. So, and that's where that's where my main priority is. And as well as being a dad, I have a little 8-year-old son. So those are my 2 priorities. So once the world gets moving, I really have to think about what I'm going to do for IncrediChat. That being said, I do have some other people that I'm working with as a team to, fill in if I'm not available. So there may be and this is all honesty, I'm putting this out there. With IncrediChat, it's going to continue. Will it be every week? I don't know. Will it be every other week, or maybe I'll be on one and I'll have 3 other people doing it the other weeks? It's going to be something like that. But again, it's going to be still a very diverse, thing, a conversation, because if you look down there, we've done IncrediTreks too, and there's a local Star Trek chapter here, and they do IncrediTrek, and they talk Star Trek for an hour, 2 hours.
I like that.
and it's cool. So we've talked about doing maybe a Doctor Who themed one, because up here in Hudson Valley, I'm going to give a plug for our buddy Shirley. In Beacon, they have the Pandorica restaurant, which is a Doctor Who themed restaurant in Beacon, New York. And our friend Shirley runs it. So we've talked about doing a Doctor Who, maybe like a monthly Doctor Who kind of chat, and then just a comic roundtable, kind of like what I did with you guys. So we're experimenting with couple of different things.
You're here with the late Sinat. You got to take this picture with him when he was alive. Again, may he rest. This
is June 2019. June 2019. And if you go back and I think it's somewhere, if you're going through our archives, there's a picture from the October 2019 show, which unfortunately was our last IncrediCon, but more even sadder was the last I want to say the last convention that Joe did. I'm not sure, but that may have been his last appearance. Wow. He might have done some other things afterwards, but yeah, we had a birthday party. Tom Siaka, he did this wonderful drawing of Joe, and then we had a birthday cake for him and celebrate. So yeah, he was at a handful of our shows.
So I want to ask you this, because again, you get to run these shows, you've gotten to meet a lot of people. What have been some of your geek out moments when you've met someone, and what have been as running a convention? What have been some of your favorite moments that you have witnessed while running your convention?
Wow. Okay. So, well, I'll say, I will say some of the best moments that I've had